Greetings. This is the Pulse of Janesville and Rock County, hypothetically speaking, for August 29th, 2025. Our commentary tonight begins with a question. When conscience collides with power, what happens? A resignation letter, a flawed framework, and then a blueprint for civic renewal. We begin with a question. What really happens when conscience collides with power? Imagine this. You are appointed to a board that exists not to rubber stamp proposals, but to safeguard the public's money and trust. Your duty under Wisconsin law is to evaluate, to deliberate, and to vote in the best interest of the taxpayers. Now, picture this. On the eve of a crucial meeting, you receive a memo, not reminding you of your duty, but of your allegiance. The message is subtle, but unmistakable. Support the city's position or risk being seen as disloyal. Well, this is exactly what happened this week in Janesville. The memo came from City Manager Kevin Lehner. In it, he reminded a Joint Review Board member that because he was appointed by the city, the expectation was that Joint Review Board member would support the city's position on tax financing amendment that was to be considered. On the surface, very polite. Between the lines, that's a problem, because the law does not say support the city's position. The law says review, evaluate, and vote. When pressure to conform arrives wrapped up in collegial language, it becomes all the more dangerous because it asks you to betray duty in the name of unity. This is not a hypothetical dilemma. This is a moral crossroads. So, the question becomes, what do you do? Nod quietly and fall in line, or remember who you actually serve, the law, the taxpayers, and the truth. Let's step back and explain. The Joint Review Board, called the JRB, was created by Wisconsin Statute 66.1105. Its purpose is to make sure tax incremental districts are fiscally sound, legally compliant, and truly in the public interest. It's made up of representatives from the city, the county, the school district, the technical college, plus one public member. Each has a fiduciary duty to their taxpayers, not to a single office holder. Members must apply the but-for test. Would this project happen without the subsidy? They must then review the financials, they must listen to public comment, and they must cast a vote, majority rules, to approve or deny. It is a statutory safeguard against speculation or politically driven projects. It's not a ceremonial body, and it's not a rubber stamp. So when pressure is applied to stay in line, it does more than cross the line. It undermines the very reason the board exists. Some may say this is politics as usual, but Janesville can do better. In fact, Janesville must. Because the credibility of our boards and our commissions really does matter. These committees review development proposals, they debate housing policy, they help guide public safety and economic priorities. Their recommendations influence budgets, ordinances, and long-term plans. If their membership is politicized, their legitimacy erodes. And when trust in local government erodes, the whole civic foundation weakens. That brings us to last week's City Council vote on the advisory committee to study the GM-JATCO project and how members are appointed. The decision, passed 5-2, created a new framework for how committees are filled. Some improvements were made. Credit goes to the council president for advocating additional citizen representation, but the framework does not go far enough. It does not guarantee merit-based appointments. It does not fully ensure transparency. It risks leaving committees vulnerable to politics instead of grounded in independence. But all is not lost. The council can still correct course. How? By moving toward what we've long called citizen expert advisory panels, committees that blend lived experience with professional expertise. Panels that use deliberative democracy. That means structured dialogue, reasoned debate, transparent decision-making, not token discussion, not backroom deals. Political reforms are within reach. Publish the qualifications of every appointee. Apply CEAP principles. Require public deliberation and annual plain language reporting. Live stream every meeting and adopt an ethical pledge that affirms loyalty to the public interest, not political interests. Citizens should expect more. Council members should demand more. Because the test of our committees is not how quickly they meet, but how deeply they deliberate. For me, the choice became clear. This week I resigned from the Joint Review Board, not in retreat, but in defense. Resignation was not an act of withdrawal. It was a refusal to normalize coercion. It was drawing a line for democratic integrity. But if we stop at protest, we miss the moment. So let us build. Here are 5 reforms that could restore trust in Janesville's boards and commissions. First, statutory orientation for every appointee, public, transparent, and mandatory. Second, independent appointment mechanisms that blend executive nominations with community institutions and even public lotteries. Third, public deliberation mandates. No more silent votes. Let the reasoning be heard. Fourth, civic education partnerships with schools, with libraries, and the media, so citizens understand what these boards do and how to engage. And fifth, independent oversight and ethics review, conducted by judges, retired, educators, and civic leaders, reporting directly to the public. These proposals are not radical, they're restorative. They do not seek to dismantle government. They honestly seek to dignify it. Resignation is not retreat. It's a call to rebuild. And citizens, you have a role to play. Show up at meetings. Online or in person, be there. Ask questions. Use public comment. Follow up with your city council members. Your presence, your voice, your persistence, it really truly matters. Every advancement in our community begins with someone choosing to act. If you've been wondering, when's the right time? Well, the answer may be now. Volunteer. Apply to serve. Run for office. As the old words remind us, if not me, who? If not now, when? This is Hypothetically Speaking from the Rock County Civics Academy, from Wisconsin's heartland to America's horizon. Next time, well, stay curious, stay engaged, and stay connected. And remember, the work of democracy is never finished. It rests on the choices each of us makes, whether to conform or to stand firm for integrity. That choice is yours. Let me say that again. That choice is yours. Until next time, get involved, get informed, and make a real difference in your community. Have a great day.